Good evening, everyone. It's Lord Malachite broadcasting to you again. I know it's been a while. There were some things I was supposed to get done this week, and I've honestly just been busy. I've been looking really hard for a job before my unemployment benefits run out, and I've been uh, catching up on some shows that I've been putting off for a long time, making some fodder for some videos down the road. And I've been spending a lot of time with the fan-made Metroid Prime. I'm sorry, Metroid 2 remake, not Metroid Prime. So that's been all occupying my time. So I'm sorry that this review for Star versus the Forces of Evil, the Wand to Wand episode, has actually taken me so long to get done. Um, if there's any background noise in this, I apologize. I do have the air conditioner on, and I just want to apologize for that. Normally, I do shut it off for the purposes of these videos, but for those tuning in, it's currently 97 degrees outside with a 94% humidity. I'm just not turning it off. I don't even want to wear pants, and I'm making that sacrifice. So, there you go. Wand to Wand. All right, so let's just get the credits out of the way really quick so we can talk about it. Again, the story was written by Dominic Bisignano, Aaron Hammersley, Amy Higgins, and John Infantino also contributed, and Darren Nefsey herself did as well. The actual, so that they did the story, which is discussed before, means they came up with basically the concept, what the story was going to be. The actual writing and storyboarding of the episode was done by Dominic and Aaron, who seem to have done a lot of work this season, and of course they were involved in season 1, so they've been really front and center. And also Lee Tang and Giancarlo Volpe assisted them with the writing and storyboards, and Giancarlo actually directed the episode. So that's where we stand. Those are the people that deserve the credit and the blame. Now, this time, much like my last video that I did earlier this week, or almost a week ago now, Wand to Wand, I feel, was an episode that was actually good. I was shocked by the how well done that Star vs. Echo Creek was, and Wand to Wand advance the plot of the overall season a little bit while at the same time maintaining the quality. Contrasting this to how terrible my new wand was at the beginning of the season, I feel that overall this is something that was pretty impressive. So we'll get into some of the themes that were in here. This video probably won't be terribly long. I mostly have positive things to say, but I need to get to the next episodes, ones that have been on for the past week or so. So I'm finally going to get to my Saturday night animation binge, and I will be viewing those, and I'll be doing a video on them. Hopefully this weekend I'll start cranking out for those episodes. So discussing Wand to Wand, I'm not going to give a whole breakdown of what the episode was. By now you should know. But there were little things in it that it opens on something kind of intriguing here. We see Ludo getting bullied by some rats. And this was kind of interesting to me that the rats are actually picking on Ludo, and he has his muscle outside with him. He still has the spider and the bird. And he's trying to use his magic wand on them to teach them a lesson, and it's not working. We then cut back to Earth, where we see Star doing a hobby that we're led to believe she's had going on for a while. I guess she's really into Munian ships in a bottle now. This is kind of an interesting thing. I'm not going to sit up and complain and call it stupid. It's more that's bothering me that we've just never seen it before, and I question whether it's something we'll ever see again. It just seems like an odd throwaway thing that they put in there for no real reason, and I, for one, will be surprised if we even see them as a decoration in her room in future episodes, let alone see Star actually working on them. I could be wrong, and I'd be happy to be wrong in this case on that, but history has taught me that's the way the show's going, that these are the kind of things that fall through the cracks. But I'm not going to harp on it any more than that. It's not like it's this thing that really bothers me, because overall the episode was great. So we see in this episode, basically, Star and Marco have to do chores in the house. Star's job is to take out the trash. So being either lazy or feeling she's too good for it, Star usually doesn't feel she's above too many things, so we'll call her lazy in this regard here. She summons her cloudy charm to take out the garbage for her. And immediately we see that there's something off about Cloudy. He's kind of discolored. He's normally kind of a happyish purple, and here he's more kind of a grayish greenish color, more like the color of Ludo's feathers. and he's kind of talking in a slow manner, like he's drunk or hungover. And one of the things I did actually really like about the presentation of him, though, is that he tends to be passive aggressive, like making snide comments about Star's little princess's hands being too good to have to take out trash. And as the episode goes on, he continues this kind of behavior, knocking things over, making a mess, making a show of doing his chore while not really doing anything at all. This entire episode cuts back and forth between the Diaz household with Star and Marco and over to Muni, where Ludo is looking to get revenge and, more importantly, porridge from this group of rats who had the audacity to feed him mud. So we now see that there seems to be a connection between Star's wand and Ludo's wand, not just that Ludo's wand appears to be that missing piece of Star's wand that wasn't collected from the end of season 1, but it looks like they're going kind of a Harry Potter route, the whole like how Harry Potter and how Voldemort had their wands were like the same, they had like the same core to them, and they're not able to best one another. It's like they're flip sides of the same coin. Now, I don't know if they're going to quite do that with Ludo's character. I mean, I really don't see Star and Ludo being opposite numbers, but definitely they're picking up that tandem with the wand. And we see Ludo get his wand working for nefarious spells, and he uses it to get revenge on the rats. And from that point on, Star's spells seem to get worse and worse throughout the episode. She keeps trying to fix her cloudy charm, and she only succeeds in making it worse and worse, eventually transforming Cloudy into from a passive aggressive monster into like this giant hurricane or tornado like thing that's starting to blow away the entire house. And meanwhile, Ludo is basically mopping the floor with the rats. He allows himself to be beaten down for a while, and his minions try to come in to save him, and he refuses to let them. And we see him essentially kind of build up his power into this Dragon Ball Z-like moment and strike out with this large, destructive, kind of evilish spell. But it's right around this time also that to resolve the Star and Marco plot in it, the Cloudy Charm is about to suck Marco into its vortex. And now that Star is like, desperate, she uses her wand to cast a spell, and it finally comes out the way it's supposed to. It's like a positive spell, and it turns Cloudy back to normal. So it seems like they're trying to get into there being a kind of war between the cores of these wands. I guess whoever has the stronger will at the time, be it Ludo or be it Star, they're the ones that have the control over the properties of both wands, since it's broken in half, and the spells tend to take on the positive or negative entities. We don't know more about this yet, so that's what it appeared from the Wand to Wand episode, but I won't be at all shocked if there's more details about that. I don't think I've completely nailed it on the money yet, but then again, the writing in the show hasn't been that good as of late, so maybe I have. We'll see what happens later in season 2. But overall, this episode was good. It didn't do anything that was monumentally stupid. It, like Star vs. Echo Creek, it didn't break down the rules of Earth and turn it into like a regular show reality, like has happened a lot this season. And it was nice to see Ludo again. Ludo in the Wild, I still feel is the best overall episode of this season, but there's still plenty more to go, so we'll see what happens with it. But this whole little take on Harry Potter, I guess you could call it a riff or an homage, what's going on there. I actually kind of like it. At first I thought maybe I wouldn't because it was derivative, but it seems like they're trying to go in a different direction with it. So overall, I would consider this to be another positive step, and I'm hoping that subsequent episodes will go in this direction, and we won't see more of what we saw in the first several weeks of the season, which were just really, really bad, with the exception of Ludo in the Wild, which is still, like I said before, the high mark of the season. That's the gold standard so far. We'll see if that changes as time comes. I certainly hope so. I want the series to keep pushing itself in the right direction, please. So that's really where things stand. Again, I don't have a ton of things to say about this episode. I'm not sitting here and picking it apart and finding a lot of faults in it. I could point out a few things here and there, like I did with Star and her ships in a bottle, but At this point, I feel that's kind of petty. It's not like this major issue that's like ruining the episode or anything. It's just kind of a throwaway thing, and they still have the opportunity to actually follow up on that and make it a win. So we'll leave that as it is. But those are my feelings on what this episode was altogether. We'll see what happens with Starstruck and camping trips, since, again, I will be watching those in a few hours, and I'm sure I'll have things to say about them. So definitely more videos will be forthcoming. I'm also going to be watching the last of the Summer Adventures of Steven Universe, so I will be doing at least one video on that, but since there'll be quite a few episodes in it, I'm afraid it'll run long, so probably expect a few videos on that to come out over time. And I've read that we're going to continue to get new episodes, just more like once every week instead of 5 a week, which is good because it allows us time to breathe and really analyze what's happening in that show. Pony video for last week. Honestly, it was a Cutie Mark Crusaders episode. There was absolutely nothing special about it. It wasn't a terrible episode. I didn't hate it, but it didn't. It was a paint by the numbers thing. The script was phoned in. There isn't really much more to say about it. I feel I could do a video on how it was a mediocre episode, but I just don't feel the need to. Cutie Mark Crusaders episodes were okay, but now that they have their marks, it feels like they're becoming kind of redundant characters because we don't really see them doing anything with those marks. It would really be better to maybe focus on these characters starting to grow up a little bit and eventually finding out what their place is going to be in the world. So that's all I have to say about My Little Pony at the moment. I'll be watching this week's episode tonight as well, so if as long as it's review worthy, I will stick a review video up for that as well. So that's where I stand on the things that I have been reviewing, and there is more stuff coming down the line. I just want to get a few more things under my belt. So I'm glad that people are enjoying the videos that I've been making, and I do intend to keep uploading them. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If this is something you like, subscribe. If there's something else you'd like to see me do, tackle something maybe that I haven't, or something more interactive you want me to do, that's fine. I'm open to things. So feel free to leave a comment or send me a message and let me know. So that is Wand to Wand, finally put to bed almost 2 weeks after it's aired. And again, I do apologize. It took me so long to get this review up, but I'm glad it's done. It was worth doing. So thanks for watching, and look for more videos in this coming week, possibly as soon as Sunday night. Everyone have a good evening.